Hey everyone, Blake here at Geek Out. We're waiting on our co-host to get here. He should be here in just a minute. We are working some kinks out. We are bringing back this podcast after a lot of people have asked for it, and we are going to be doing that for you. Right now, I'm going to try and get on here and get my phone because I can't see that computer that far away. So I'm going to try to put here so that I can get the messages if you guys want to ask any questions. So feel free to ask whatever questions you want, and we will go from there. Like I said, we're trying to get some of the kinks worked out. Let's see. Got it. All right. So there you go. All right. You can ask a question right over here.
You can see it?
A little bit.
Light.
Here. There we go. There you go. All right. So there's no way that I can possibly see that from back here because my eyesight's not that good. But there we are. So, like I said, we're working out the kinks again to get the podcast rolling. What we talk about on the Geek Out podcast here on Sunday is basically whatever you want to know pop culture wise, things going on in comics, things going on in the movies, things going on with whatever's going on in pop culture this week. I'm trying to see if I can see the comments. I cannot, so that's okay. Just trying to see the comments over here. So if I see something that pop up there and you guys have a question, we will get right to it. In the meantime, tonight, I think Josh is going to be here in just a few minutes. I know that he was running a little bit behind. We were trying to hold that back until he gets here. But we're going to be all over this week's comics. We're going to talk about Detective Comics 1000. We're going to be talking about a few of the other things coming out that people have been enjoying recently. What have you guys been interested in as far as comics go this week? We want to know that. In case you have not caught our podcast before, we are coming at you live right here inside of Geek Out, right here in big time Burleson, Texas, which is just south of Fort Worth, if you don't know where that goes. And we are talking about all things comics, all things movies, pop culture, anything going on right now, and sometimes things that might not have anything to do with that either. So we talk about just a little bit of anything and everything, and we get that going. We'll have lots of co-hosts for you most Sunday evenings. Tonight it's just the couple of us starting out. Like I said, Josh will be here in just a minute. We'll have Gray will be here every once in a while. Grace will be here every once in a while. Charles will be here every once in a while. Sarah will be here every once in a while. If we can, we will try and get Kim to make an appearance as well. I see someone's got a question, so I'm going to jump up and I'm going to look at the monitor. Sorry, guys, my eyes just aren't that good. Let's see. Keeping up on Ash. Oh, that's very cool. It says, been checking out both the first issue of Chandra and been keeping me up on Ash War Mother. War Mother is a really cool book. Loving that book a lot, actually. And Chandra was a good first issue. I was pretty happy with that. Sometimes when you get Magic the Gathering and other things like Dungeons and Dragons, and you get those other games that roll into a comic book, sometimes they don't translate quite as well, but that one does pretty well. If you play Chandra at all when you're playing Magic, you'll know that comic is pretty true to who she is up there. And War Mother is a really good comic. So I'm pretty happy with those. Did you read Detective Comics 1000 yet this week? What'd you think about that? There was a lot of hype around that. I know here at the store, if you were here for the midnight release, you know that there was a lot of people picking up copies of Detective Comics 1000. I would dare say that we have sold more of it than we did on Action Comics 1000. I'm not really sure what that means for the comic book. Batman's more popular than Superman, maybe. But we have sold most every issue I think. We sold out of the regular cover. We sold out of the midnight release cover. We have 1 or 2 blank covers left out of a dozen. And I've got there's a Bernie Wrightson right there from the 70s, right there, in case you didn't see that back here. This is the Bernie Wrightson cover for Detective Comics 1000. Very cool. Yeah, Bernie passed away earlier this year, but he had done this Batman pose, and so they recolored it, and there you go. And they got it on there. So Bernie did that pose of Batman back in '91, it says. So it's a kind of a cool throwback for Bernie. Of course, Bernie really known for doing Swamp Thing and some other horror type comics and magazines and other illustrations. He does really good with that kind of stuff. One of my favorite comic artists, actually, Bernie is. And so that was really kind of cool. That copy right there is mine, because that's what I'm keeping. Gonna send that one over to be graded because it's pretty cool. But we do have a couple more copies of that issue up there. I think we had about a dozen of every cover, and that's one of the few that we have left, and a few blanks, and that is it. None of the other decades do we have left. None of the other special covers do we have left. No midnight release, no regular cover, no nothing. Everybody's all on top of Detective Comics 1000. It was a cool release. Thank you, DC, for doing such a good job on that book. I really enjoyed the issue, actually. It was pretty good. Batman is not my favorite. Oh, we're talking about Swamp Thing. Ta-da, Swamp Thing right there. Yeah, Bernie Swamp Thing. Batman is not my favorite superhero, and nor is he my favorite DC superhero. And so it's nice to enjoy a good Batman book. I do enjoy them every once in a while, but not always. So this one's a good one. I liked it. Typically, my favorite DC hero is someone who has a movie out right now and has his own book out. Is probably Shazam, and Swamp Thing are pretty close to a tie for my favorite DC superhero. Batman comes in a little ways down the list, but he's on there, but just not quite at the top. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, what did you think about the issue? Did you like it? Have you got it? Did you read it? Which cover did you get? And which one do you think was the coolest cover? So you had the 30s, which was done by my buddy Steve Rude. You had the 40s, which was, I believe, Bruce Timm. I don't remember. If I had it in front of me, I could tell you, but I don't remember. You had the 50s, and I don't remember who did the 50s. You had the 60s. It was done by Steranko. You had the 70s, which was done by Bernie Wrightson. The 80s, which was Frank Miller. The 90s, which was... I don't remember who did the 90s. Can't remember who did the 90s. 2000s was Jock, and the 2010s was, I don't remember either. So anyway, there we go. That's who did it. So who was your favorite? That's the question of the moment. And when Josh gets here, we'll ask him too. So we are live. We're going to do this every single Sunday at 8 o'clock, roughly, right at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, of course. We're going to go for at least a half hour. We're probably going to go for a little more than that if we can. We'd like to kind of slide on in there at, half hour, 45 minutes, possibly an hour if some nights, if it's really, really warranted. Otherwise, we're going to kind of hold it to a half hour, 45 minutes. And that's what we're going to do. We welcome all kinds of questions. You can send them to us you can send them through the YouTube app right here, or you can send them to us over on our Facebook page, which of course is Geek Out Burleson over on Facebook, or on our Instagram page, which is Geek Out Burleson over on Instagram, or even our Twitter page. Again, hey, Geek Out Burleson, go figure. You can send us the questions there, things in advance if you want to know. If you want a topic for next week, we can certainly do that. If you have an idea for a guest, because we are going to be bringing in guest artists and writers and other creators in here to be on the podcast. So we'll be doing that. And that is where we are at. Kim is waiting at the door for Josh to get here. Hopefully he'll be here soon. He might even be watching this on this driving down the road, since we are live right here on YouTube. And the lights are on. It's getting dark outside. It's cold today here in Texas. Shouldn't be that cold, but it is. Sometimes it gets that way in spring. You never know what the weather's going to be. And that's kind of the fun thing about living here sometimes. Always not so fun either, but sometimes it is. So right now, let's see what else was out this week. Well, let me talk about the set just a little bit so you guys know what we have on the set. If you are on our Facebook page over on the Comic Book Shopping Network, you will know that we do a live sale on Mondays and Thursdays right now at 9:00 p.m. Central Time. And so what you see back here, these rows of these comics, that is where we do that live sale. The camera that you are watching right now actually moves up and it sits here and catches both of those rows. And that way we do the live sale of whatever the comics we're doing are. And so we go with those. Some of the other decorations we have up, you see some of the Team Tug socks right up there. We have a few of those here in the shop available. And we have, those are available through Tug's bike team as well. We have the Land of the Living Dead poster back there. It's signed to Tug by Big Daddy right there himself. And then we have a Daredevil that was done by Mike Zeck, also signed to Tug. And Tug is our shop mascot. He also is the mascot of the bicycle team. Hey, how's it going? Good seeing you, Zach. So there you go. So Tug is the mascot of the shop, and he is also for his bicycle team, which we do some charity rides for and things like that. You might even meet him on a future podcast. Since we are doing video, it's okay to bring him on here, so that would be pretty cool. And we'll sit him up there in the chair, and we'll do the interview with him, and he might have a few things to say. That'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, so this is the set that you see. Up in the corners, you can see the Black Science skateboard deck up there, and back over here, the 4 ponies of the apocalypse. Excuse me, the apocalypse, no apocalypse, just apocalypse. And of course, my instrument to keep people in line back over there in the corner. And there you go. So, and just our conversation table working right here. We think it's pretty cozy. We like to have those conversations, and we normally have heated conversations. And when I mean heated, I mean active and animated. And we talk about our favorite comics, and we talk about all kinds of other good things. It's a little bit one-sided with just me here, and I apologize a little bit for you having to sit through just me, but we wanted to get this out there because we used to do the podcast, and we got a lot of people that told us they missed it. So we brought it back, and here it is. And it's just me right now, but we'll have the other ones here in a minute. And hopefully that will be entertaining for you. We're going to talk about just everything, really. We like your questions. It's easier to answer whenever we can see them and do it. I hear the door, so he must be here. I heard Kim as well. Maybe you guys did too, so that's pretty cool. If you are here for the first time, like we all are, say hi. We like to know who's over here. Hopefully Josh's eyes will be a little bit better than mine. He can see the questions without me having to jump right up and go and look at the monitor up there. I was trying to watch it on my phone, but they don't quite show up on it. Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Come right on in, right over there, sir. He's coming. Here he comes. Da-da-da-da. All right. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. So, say hi to everyone, Josh.
Hey, everyone. I'm Josh.
We are just kicking it off. I've been talking for however many minutes that says, 14.
14.
And who's that down at the bottom? I can't see. Is that Jared? Somebody? I can't. What's that bottom name? I can't see. You can't see. Nobody can
J-Rod.
see. Hey, J-Rod Ham. What's up? All right. So good seeing you. Thank you for saying hello. I briefly brought up about Detective Comics 1000.
Oh, yeah.
And so pretty cool issue. What'd you think about it?
I actually enjoyed it. I was surprised by Kevin Smith's story in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming, but I'm also not a Batman reader, so
Right on. But you saw the covers. What cover
I
did you
did.
like best?
The Frank Miller one. I think I already told you this, but yeah, I picked that one up for sure. That one in the midnight one. That one was really cool.
That's what you get for running in, right?
That's pretty much, yeah. It's Kim's fault.
But so anyway, so that's all we're at. I've just been rattling on and making all these poor souls just listen to me rattle on with just a monologue kind of a thing, tell them about what's going on. I talked about the set a little bit and what we got going on back here, since you actually see more of it here on the podcast than you do on the sale night when you only just to see these two racks.
That's true. Fun fact is Blake used that sword to craft this brick back here. So.
I did. Yeah, that took all day. But it works that way sometimes, right?
It does.
So what else did you read this week, Josh?
This week, Punk's Not Dead 2.
Pretty cool stuff, huh?
I do. Yeah, I do enjoy that. Ghost and punk rock. You can't beat that. So go hand in hand.
Speaking of punk rock, coming up from our buddies over at Valiant, coming up here in a couple of weeks, we got Punk Mambo. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. Been meaning to add that to the sub list, actually, so I'm glad you brought it up.
That's pretty cool. Valiant, again, one of our favorite publishers, like Valiant, like Boom, like a lot of those other Image, good stuff. What's your favorite book right now?
Right now, I don't know. I'm really loving Doomsday's Clock. I know they keep pushing that back, but I'm really excited so far what's been happening, especially with Dr. Manhattan being pretty much fully introduced in the DC universe. So right now, I'm really looking forward to that. I just wish they would get on time with their release schedule. Like they pushed number 9 back so far that literally the next week was supposed to be number 10. So I was like, yeah, hopefully we'll get that, but no, it'll be another 3 to 4 weeks before number 10 comes out. So
it will be. Sorry, I had to jump up and see the screen. I got to figure out a way to make that bigger because I cannot read that. I agree with what he's saying right there. He says the Immortal Hulk is his favorite read right now.
Oh yes, Immortal Hulk's a lot of fun too. I jumped in late on that, which I immediately regret, but
Immortal Hulk, in my opinion, right now is probably the best book that Marvel's putting out.
I would agree with you, actually.
That's
like just the whole like throwback to the horror aspects of it. That's what I've really enjoyed.
Well, and just the fact that I think that they're treating the Hulk now like he always should have been treated, like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of character, because you got Bruce Banner doing his thing and you got the Hulk doing his thing. They sort of alluded to that a little bit in the movie. Yeah, I know it's not anything like the comic book, but they sort of alluded to that a little bit in the movie where he says, "Come on out," and the Hulk's like, "No." It's kind of the first time you ever get a glimpse outside of this book that they're really two separate personalities in there. You know, before it's been Bruce Banner Hulks out, so he doesn't know what the Hulk did except for when he was Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So this, treating it the way that it's been treated, I think, is the way the Hulk should have always been done. You know, this is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dr. Banner and Mr. Hulk.
Yeah.
If I knock this microphone anymore, sorry guys if that rattles out there.
I mean, I don't know. I really loved World Breaker Hulk too. Like, I mean, it was like you got the best of both worlds in one. It was your Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of Hulks.
Right on. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of Hulks.
I mean, he came back like gladiator trained, Bruce Banner's intelligent, and just mad. As mad as he's ever been. Like, that was probably my favorite Hulk read besides this current Immortal Hulk run.
Right on. Have you always been a Hulk fan?
Not always. I mean, I've always like read some of his stuff. I love like the rage. I mean, right. Like ever since I was like a teenager and a teen angst, if you will, the whole rage aspect of Bruce Banner has really captured me. But I mean, I haven't always read it. Like I picked up issues here and there, and once it gets my attention, once I hear like, hey, are you reading the Immortal Hulk? Like obviously, I was like, no, I'm not, but I'm going to start. So
very cool, very cool. So so you like Doomsday Clock?
Yeah.
You like the Immortal Hulk?
Yeah.
What else you reading?
Punisher. I stopped reading the Punisher for a while. That was like what got me into comics was the Punisher.
Right on.
So once they introduced the Italian Punisher, like the Jersey Shore Punisher, that's what I called him, the Jersey Shore Punisher.
The situation Punisher.
Exactly. Like I stopped reading.
Right.
But I think I picked up issue number 5 because it was a Stan Lee tribute. So I was like, oh, this issue, the cover looks cool. Worst case, I just hang it on the wall. So I got it home and read it, and I was like, whoa, this is the Punisher again. Like, This is full-fledged Frank Castle. Like, I believe that issue he bit someone's fingers off. So I was
Sounds like Frank.
exactly. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to resub to this. Track down issue 1 and been reading it since. So
Very cool. Very cool.
I think they're on 9. 10's coming up, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think they're only like 2 issues behind Hulk, I think, is where they are. So yeah, I think that's right. Are you reading Daredevil?
I am. Oh, Daredevil. Yes.
Am I pulling all the good ones out now?
You really are. Yeah.
Right now is a great time to be in comics. Their comics are, a lot of times I'll tell you that comic books are always good in general. But right now it seems like the big companies are coming back around to doing good stuff again. It seems like there was a valley, I guess, in the time of, I don't know what that was.
Ghost, I guess.
I guess. Where they weren't necessarily doing everything very good as far as the stories go. They were just pumping out books. And now it seems like, with the new leadership over at Marvel's actually, in the last year or so, really coming out with books that are story driven, with good art and stuff like that. DC, of course, with the whole Rebirth thing a while back, they've been really pumping on doing good stories and doing all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we've had a lot of indie, publishers that have done really well for a long time with, Valiant's done a great superhero universe. Boom, all the stuff they do is good. Image, more, that's not superhero stuff. Oni's done pretty good with all their stuff. And there's just, there's so many other ones. Aftershock is good. And starts with an A and it's slipping my mind. And they have the lesser priced ones because
the $1.50 ones. What is that?
Peter will kill me for forgetting the name of the Alterna. Thank you so much.
Alterna. Good pull.
Excellent books. I mean, they're knocking it out of the park with books that are lower priced,
exactly,
printed on newsprint and done. And I love all the Alterna titles. I think there's only been 1, maybe 2 series that they've put out that I'm like,
Yeah, Scrimshaw. I started reading that because it was $1.50.
Really,
it's really enjoyable. Yeah,
and they got the second series on that out.
Yeah, that's the one I actually started reading on was the second series.
Oh,
so I need to track down the first ones now.
Yeah, but I think the big companies are coming back around with the good stories. Is what I was leading at. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, they really have. I mean, I think what the thing that was for a while was that, like you were saying, they were missed out on what they were known for. They were missed out on their storytelling and things. They were just kind of pumping out books.
Right.
I mean, and that was kind of apparent once DC released Damage. Like that's another title I just recently started reading. And basically it was like, oh, well, you guys don't want to tell a Hulk story. Well, guess what? We're going to do it,
Right.
So, I mean, and it's kind of good to see them get back to their grassroots, and that's what they've been missing out on, trying to branch out and be experimental. I understand that,
right,
hit or miss, but it's all been misses so far. So,
yeah,
it's really good to see them back to the grassroots. Like, I mean, really that, like I said, that horror aspect of the Immortal Hulk, what I really enjoyed. I mean, I think at one point he absorbed a scientist, like,
oh, that's cool.
How can you be angry at that? I mean, it's a Hulk dismembered, absorbing a scientist.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I was trying to get the comments over here where I can read them, and my phone's just not cooperating.
Of course not.
Although they did say up there that Naomi's been a good read. Have you read that?
I have
DC?
not. I have not read.
See, I haven't read it either. And one of the reasons that I haven't had the chance to read it is because we order in enough for we look at our subscriptions and we order plenty for our subscribers, and then we order some extras to go on the wall because we never know how many people are going to be reading it. Well, every single week we up our orders on Naomi, but it sells out every single week. So I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I mean, I flipped through it a little bit and it looks good. And it's one of the new characters that DC came out with again, but I haven't had the chance to actually read it yet. So at this point, since we're up to issue, the next one coming out is 4. I'm going to have to wait, and I'm going to have to read the trade because I don't know what's going on. And everybody's talking about it. And if we keep upping our orders, I think we're up to 18 or 20 now, and it sells out every week. I mean, so that's a good thing. Selling out is always good. But is there any books like that you keep wanting to read, but it keeps getting sold out?
I mean, Daredevil is like that. It was kind of hard for me. I think there was a couple issues I missed out on that because they were selling out.
Still.
Yeah, pretty much still. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was excited to see that when it was actually in the box. I was like, yes, like I'm finally on the pull list. Like I shouldn't have slept on it.
Right.
Let's see.
Well, and sometimes they change up a lot of people don't know some of the insider stuff with Diamond is the only comic book distributor in North America.
Yeah.
So if you want comic books in your store, you have to go through Diamond. And one of the things that Diamond does every once in a while, and I don't know why they do this, because they're the only ones that
They can.
Why. But they go through and they'll just change up series numbers. Well, they won't tie them to the old series, so everyone that was supposed to get a subscription for that, it doesn't show up on the sub list.
Yeah.
So when we pull out a sub list every single week, and let's say you're on it for Daredevil, right? Well, if they change up the series list for it and don't tie it back, everybody that's subbed for Daredevil doesn't show up on the list for subs.
Yeah.
So Daredevil, I have to go back through manually and go, why did anybody get Daredevil? And then have to go back and look and see who's supposed to be on Daredevil and pull those.
Yeah.
And so that happens sometimes, and they're really bad about that. Or like if you sub to the old Daredevil that just ended, and then they did the whole
Man Without Fear,
the different ones, and then launched Daredevil again, none of those are connected. So if you subbed to Daredevil, there was nothing telling me as a retailer or you as a customer that you need to resub to this new title. So none of those numbers were in there for my orders. So none of those people showed up on the sub list. I was like, okay, I got 3 people subbed to Daredevil when I had, 18. What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
So then you have to go back through everybody's sub, figure out who they are, and add it back to them. And so Diamond is really, really bad about that. And it's one of the things in the industry that, and I don't want to harp on them for being bad about that because they do some other good stuff, but it's one of the things that's frustrating in the industry when you're trying to get people involved with some of these really good books that are coming out, and they just make it hard to get on board with,
Yeah.
And so that happens sometimes.
Oh yeah, completely.
But yeah, that's kind of where it is. What other books are you guys reading? We will talk about those. And have you seen any of the new movies?
I saw Captain Marvel. I mean, I think I saw that in a release weekend.
You mean Shazam?
Shazam. No, I haven't seen Shazam yet. Is that out yet?
Yeah, it is.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. Isn't it?
I thought it was coming.
Is it this week?
I'm not sure.
Ask your listeners.
Hey, when does Shazam release? Somebody tell us.
I guess we do have technology in our pocket.
Mine's on the desk, but it's showing us, 10 seconds ago. So you saw Captain Marvel. It says next weekend. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, next weekend. Yeah, that's why
next weekend. That's what it says. Yeah, that's what I meant. Shazam is next weekend. No, thanks. Appreciate it.
I mean, that does look fun, though. I mean,
Shazam, one of my favorite characters in DC.
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm not too big of a DC fan. It took me kind of a while to really give him a chance, and that was just because ever since I was a kid, it's always been X-Men, Incredible Hulk TV show, Spider-Man, things like that. But once I started reading, branched out into DC, that Shazam was definitely one of the ones that sparked my interest. It was just like the whole child aspect as well as being, Superman, pretty much.
Right. If not more.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's kind of the argument sometimes. He says that it's getting rave reviews, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All the trailers that I see for it make me want to see it more. I wasn't real happy with when I saw that Zachary Levi was cast. I'm like, really, Chuck?
Yeah.
But the previews look good.
I know they have rumors about The Rock being cast as
he is Black Adam.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So you think he's gonna make an appearance in this, or
they haven't said he's not the main bad guy. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So if he does, it'll probably be like right at the end.
Right at the end or something.
I think that he's cast as Black Adam for a Superman movie.
Oh.
I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what that is. It could be just at the very end of this one too. It could be for the second one that they're going to do or whatever. But no, the thing about Shazam is I've always liked Shazam, which you totally hit on. He's a kid in real life. He's 15.
Yeah.
All right. So, and at 15, that's an age when most people who read comic books can totally identify, because a lot of people started when they were about that age. And so they're small. I got to figure out how to make that big so I can see it. So they, at 15, if all of a sudden you're in an adult superhero's body, how are you going to act? You're not going to be an adult. You're going to be the kid.
Yeah, I mean, until it gets boring, at least, until you actually have to step up to be mature. But for the time being, yeah, like I'm buying beer and porno mags. That's what I'm doing.
Right. Right. And the electricity, like he was, because he does that in the movie. And of course he does the bus thing. And then he goes, hey, did you see that? And his friend goes, yeah, you almost killed a busload of people. He goes, and then I saved them.
Yeah, that totally cancels each other out.
Yeah. So that I would do that. But so yeah, I was seeing if another thing popped up there. It didn't. We got another one. But no, I'm pretty cool. But what do you think about Captain Marvel?
I enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't until the second viewing I enjoyed it. I don't know. Maybe I went in too harsh with it because it seemed like some of the music was forced.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I love 90s music, obviously being like a 90s growing up during the 90s
Right,
and everything, but it just seemed like some of the music was forced in places, especially like the Nirvana. Like I don't think you've seen it yet.
I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know. When you do see it,
Right.
tell me if you think that Nirvana song just seemed completely out of place. Like it seemed like they paid maybe for the rights and then was like, well, we got to use it, guys. So like, here's some music that we had someone dancing to generically. So we're just going to throw Nirvana in there. Like,
I think I've seen that happen before in films.
yeah.
I would almost go on an edge and say Nirvana can fit anywhere, but I won't quite go there
Wait till you see the old white lady dancing. Like
okay.
I was hoping someone made like a GIF or a meme out of it yet, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna go
That'll
online
be
after
fun.
this and see.
That'll
Maybe
be fun. I was thinking too. It's kind of funny because Nirvana, obviously, because they were such a hit then. But Alice in Chains. Did they have any Alice in Chains in there?
I don't recall. I don't think so.
If you're a Nirvana fan and you're not an Alice in Chains fan, you definitely need to spend some time listening to Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There wasn't much rock. It was more hip hop, like 90s hip hop that was in it. So
that could be cool.
I forgot. I think it was either TLC or someone when Fury and Carol was in a car driving somewhere and it was on the radio or whatever.
Oh, right on. That does sound cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. What else did you see?
I don't know.
What was the last? You saw Spider-Verse? That was well.
Oh yeah, I saw Spider-Verse. That by me, if you're asking me, that was its best Spider-Man movie.
Best Spider-Man.
Yeah, best Spider-Man movie.
Almost everyone says that. Almost everyone says that is the best Spider-Man movie, hands down. Doesn't matter that it's cartoon.
Yeah.
It beats live action.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Peter Porker.
Peter Porker is amazing. Like,
no, he's spectacular.
He's spectacular. That's what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the art, like it was like that cell shading almost. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of, I guess, how they're doing things now.
Okay.
Like it actually felt like a comic book, like while you were watching it, and
that's cool.
Like Miles also is like a graffiti artist, so like a lot of the art's cool and everything when he's like tagging and everything. So it really pops, especially when you're watching it in like 3D and stuff. So
very cool, very cool. They agree.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Best Spider-Man movie ever.
Yeah.
So that is cool. Let's see what else we need. What else do we need to hit on, guys? This is again, we're kind of working out the kinks, getting this first one back out on the road and getting it going. All things pop culture. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Next time we'll have to bring talking points.
Yeah, I know.
We'll plan next time.
Nah, we'll still wing it, but we'll have an idea what we're gonna do. I don't know. Something. What else we want to talk about?
I don't know.
KFC,
yeah. Okay, if you guys eat KFC, seriously, look at their logo right now.
On the bucket.
My son pointed this out. Like, he's a genius. Like, I can't take credit for this, but he asked me, and this was probably a couple months ago, but he reminded me.
I wish I had KFC today. I could
pull up.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
But the logo right now is like a stencil of Colonel Sanders' head and his bow tie. Right. But if you look at it, it honestly looks like a detailed face of Colonel Sanders,
big head,
and a stick figure body. Like it just looks like a little stick figure body dancing. Yeah, he's like on one leg, just moving an arm. That's what it looks like.
So go look at that. Go look at Colonel Sanders and see if that doesn't look like a stick figure body on a great big head.
You can't unsee it. You really can't.
War of the Realms. War of the Realms is coming out. Oh, here we go. Kim will pull it up.
He can do it.
All right, so here you go. Here's the KFC logo, guys. All right, see that? Doesn't that look like a big head on a stick figure body with his arm sticking out and his legs kind of kicking out like they're dancing?
Look at
that.
His arm, look. All
right, you can never unsee that now. So there you go. You can never unsee that. Talking about War of the Realms. War of the Realms does come out this week. Comics have shipped. Most comic shops will be getting them on Tuesday.
So I know nothing coming into this. Like none of the titles I'm currently reading are tying into it. And
Thor.
I'm not reading Thor.
It's totally about Thor.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, and everything else because, as it suggests, War of the Realms. So Midgard is Earth.
Yep.
And that is the last realm, apparently, that has not fallen when we get to War of the Realms. All right. So we got a lot of different Marvel books that have their own War of the Realms book. Like X-Men has their own War of the Realms book. The Avengers have theirs, so on. So it's a multi-part series like Marvel always does.
Of course.
The
The big tie-in money.
Yes. And the main title of War of the Realms. Of course, Thor is the tie-in that you definitely want to read with that. And if you like the other characters, if you like X-Men and Avengers or Spider-Man or whoever else has their own book, I think there's even a Punisher one.
Oh, is there? I don't know. I'm reading
think-
Punisher and they haven't tied it in because he's in Bangladesh right now, I believe.
That's a realm, right?
It's Earth, I guess. So
that's where all the call centers are?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's what that he's in a Bangladesh prison, and that's his job while he's in there. He's forced to be a call center.
Right. Help you out with your Google ad.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, so War of the Realms, it starts next week.
Yeah.
So it starts coming up. Comic shops have already shipped. Comics have already shipped from Diamond warehouses to the distribution centers. Typically, they show up there Monday mornings at the distribution center, and then ship out to the comic shops because we have a thing called day early service on Tuesday where we can get the books and bring that in. And so we'll be checking all those in on Tuesday for any of the War of the Realms stuff, and then they go on sale on Wednesday. I'm glad you brought the War of the Realms up because while Detective Comics was huge this week with the midnight release, I think War of the Realms for Marvel this week is going to probably do not as good as Batman numbers, but I think it's going to surprise a lot of people at how well it's going to do, at least the main title. So make sure you definitely check out the main title for War of the Realms. And if you like the other characters, and this is my advice on everyone, if you like any of the tie-in characters, read that book. If that's not your thing, skip all the tie-ins. Read the main title and go from there.
Yeah, I'll probably pick up the main title to see if I like it. It's at least number one. See if it sparks my interest.
And of course, there is no shortage of number ones with those.
That's true.
And they have a different War of the Realms book that's going to be coming in every single week. So you're going to get
it's all going to completely tie in.
Yeah. So War of the Realms, the main title, is going to be monthly, but all the other ones in between, you're going to have 2 or 3 War of the Realms tie-in books every week. So it is definitely their summer blockbuster that starts in April somehow.
Oh, spring blockbuster.
Yeah, like baseball. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, opening day.
Yeah. In the snow.
In the snow, yeah.
That's boys of spring, summer, fall, winter, whatever. So anyway, so that's War of the Realms coming up from Marvel. That's their big thing. DC, they just did their Detective Comics 1000. I think as far as numbers go, the next book that will get to 1000 issues, I think is probably a Marvel book. It's either going to be Spider-Man or Fantastic Four.
I don't know. The Fantastic Four was gone for a while, though.
It was, and that's why I think Spider-Man may have closed that gap because Spider-Man didn't start but shortly after it.
I guess we could check the legacy number, right?
Yeah, it's going to be I don't have it back here. Because, see, the legacy number on Hulk this time was 732 for the last issue of Incredible Hulk, and that was several years after Spider-Man came out. So I don't have any idea what the next number 1000 is going to be, but it's going to be a good one, I'm sure.
Sorry, I'm trying
He's doing the Google thing
to do the whole Google thing.
on the download. So
I guess they're at 789. It looks like on Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay, so see, that's only 50 issues ahead of Hulk,
Mm-hmm.
which would be technically 4 years, I guess. So look up the other guys. Fantastic Girl 4. So there we go. So what other? Okay, so we got War of the Realms covered. We got some of the other stuff coming up covered. Anything else that we need to hit that we're missing?
Not anything I can think of off the top of my head.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer's back out from Boom.
I saw that. They seem to be doing well with that. 'Cause I think they got second printings on number 1.
They do. And then we're up to the 3rd or 4th issue on that. So that's really good. We got, like I said, Punk Mambo's coming out from Valiant. Valiant's always hitting it out of the park with Exo, Man of War, and some other stuff. They're always good. Alterna, again, talking about Alterna, they all of their series, there's really no open-ended series. They're all mini-series, so you can get in and get what you need real quick. So you're not in for a lot. You're in for 4, 5, 6 issues and done. And they're only $1.50 each, so you get a whole story, the whole run, for the price of 2 comics on any of the others.
Exactly.
Coming out from Image, there was a book, and I've totally blanked. I need to make notes next time.
Yeah, definitely notes. Like
Notes.
I'm gonna come
Notes for next Sunday for sure. So that's what we're gonna do. But anyway,
I can't find the Fantastic Four legacy number.
Okay, it's
not important.
800 or something.
Yes, I'm sure. 12,000. We already missed it.
Yeah, it's that book we never heard of has now reached number 18,403.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. That would be Cerebus. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Or Spawn.
Spawn.
Todd McFarlane's been drawing single panels of Spawn and putting them in a book and renumbering it every time. So, but Spawn is almost at 300.
That's
like
true.
295 just came out. So what is the chances that Spawn 300 is going to look like Spider-Man 300 since he was on Spider-Man 300?
I mean, there's got to be at least one variant like that. I already anticipated that coming. I was going to look for it once it was coming up.
Right. I haven't looked in the previews coming out because we're only at 295. So I haven't seen the 300 issue artwork yet, but I'm sure it's
I did see that. Speaking of Spawn and the Punisher or whatever, the
Spawn
Punisher
is really good right now.
Yeah, the Punisher artist got picked up for some of the Spawn variant covers.
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe he'll get 300 as well.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And, he got picked up for a Superman. I forget. I think it's like 1,000 something. He starts doing the variant. I think he may be the actual artist for it. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember.
That's cool.
I read it somewhere on his Instagram or something.
Well, Matina has been doing a lot of the Spawn covers, at least for the last 10, 12 issues.
Yeah.
And of course, he does some other Batman covers and some other stuff for DC. So he's kind of all over. Of course, we have Stanley Lau, who also known as Art Germ.
Yeah,
has been knocking it out on some of Supergirl, Batman,
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, Batgirl. He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, they're gonna keep him around.
There's other great covers out there.
Oh,
Francis Manipul.
Oh yeah, all of Alex Ross covers. Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
every Immortal Hulk cover has
been amazing. Cover. Yeah, so especially number 14. That's one of the reasons I started reading again. I think that's the one you're missing
up here. Yeah.
Yeah, the one with the A-bomb going off in the background.
This is the last one, which was Immortal Hulk number 15. If you guys can see that, with the Hulk kind of jumping down into the canyon right there. That's the Marvel 25th. And he's also doing the Marvel's annotated stuff.
Yeah.
So Alex has been busy too. Let's see. I got to get up and read it. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Matina has an awesome Deathstroke cover coming out Wednesday. Oh, well, that's awesome. Yeah. Because Deathstroke is crossing over with the Teen Titans, and he's wiping them out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's why Teen Titans are ending.
Oh, because of Deathstroke?
It's just Titan. Never mind. Titans is ending.
Okay.
Teen Titans is continuing. Titans is ending.
Okay, that makes more sense. I don't think they would just murder the Teen Titans.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I would read it, but I don't think they would do it.
But no, he does have some great stuff. He does great covers. There's some, for a long time in the industry, you couldn't just be a cover artist, and now it seems like the industry has really shifted to where shifted. Yeah. To where if you are an artist and you do great covers, you can be just a cover artist.
Yeah. I mean, well, a great example of that was I think it was Wonder Woman 64 or 5. I'm not sure, the one that Art Germ did.
Right.
It was old art he did that he just, I guess they saw it, they liked, and they put it on the cover because it was when she still had booty shorts instead of the actual Amazon armored skirt thing.
Right.
So I realized when I picked that up, I looked at it, online, and a lot of people were like, "Why is she back in the booty shorts?" Was mad about it, and I was like, "Oh, so it's old art. That's what it is." Yep. But I mean, it's just they saw it and was like, "Hey, give us the rights to this. Let us publish it."
Right.
But I mean, it's great. I mean, if you're doing great art like that, I mean, you should. you should be able to just be a cover artist, you know?
Right.
Like people are literally buying it. That's why I picked it up, was because I wasn't even reading Wonder Woman until I picked up 63, 64, and 65 because of the variant covers.
Right.
Like I was like, oh, like this is great. And then I read it and was like, this story's great too. Like, I mean, and so I don't know, cover art's great as well because it's kind of what pulls people in. I mean, it literally, like, I wouldn't have read Wonder Woman if it wasn't for that art germ, like when I picked that up.
Right on. Right on. We had a question on how much that Hulk cover is. This one and this one, I believe this is the regular cover for 15, and this was the special. I think our girl that does the eBay stuff just listed these pair together on eBay today, so I don't know what they're going for. I'd have to go look at it. But the question was, how much are they? So we do have an eBay page, and we do have, like I said, our live sale on Mondays and Thursdays. So go check those out. Sorry, that's all I can tell you on that because I don't remember how much it is.
Yeah.
But Gray listed them up earlier or yesterday, today, whatever day it was. So that's where that is. I want to say that they're probably, for the set, is probably somewhere around $15, probably for the two of those, would be my guess. I haven't looked at the prices lately, but every single issue of Immortal Hulk just keeps going up after it's that week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that as well, too.
Yeah. And unlike a lot of shops, we always, the week that a book is out, it's still cover here at Geek Out, because that's what we believe, that you should be able to come in the week that a book is out. You should be able to come in and pick it up for cover price, as long as we have it till it sells out. After that, then we adjust it for market rates. But there's a lot of other shops that will pull all of their books,
yep,
and then they will raise the prices and then put them back out for that. And I think that's disingenuous. That's a lack of integrity and stuff like that. It's almost like if we have a Magic tournament or something and we're offering a prize, and some other shop that doesn't have integrity or anything comes in right after you announce that you're going to offer this big prize, and they come in the next day and say, oh, we're going to do that same thing and on the same day. You know, I mean, it's kind of the same with comic books, and say, well, we're going to pull all these books and put a big price tag on them. That's just wrong. And shops, for that week that a book is out, that's the new week, and it should always be cover price because that's what it's supposed to be. Now, if you are a person that comes in and buys that comic book at cover price and turns around and sells it, more power to you, man.
Yeah.
That's go for it. But the shop should sell it at cover price.
No, I agree with that. Like, you shouldn't pull things because you know they're going to come up and then try to resell them as well. I heard somewhere that was happening too. Like, things they're anticipating, like certain shops would pull things from the shelf and then hold them back and then release them a week later with a jacked up price.
Yeah, and that's
it's no fun for anyone.
It's not, and it really. I when I was younger, I went to a comic shop and I found out they were doing that, and I wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's a lack of integrity. And, you know, I want to do business where I'm liked, A, as a customer, and B, I want to be able to get it, you know, when it comes out.
Yeah.
Regardless if I have a sub or not, as long as there's extra. You know, I understand if they're legit sold out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it happens.
Yeah,
go look at our wall this week.
Exactly.
We got everything got sold out just about.
Yeah, I mean, at midnight release, like, I was surprised when that happened. I was like, well, I'm glad I came when I did, because if not, it would have been blown out by the time I got here Wednesday night.
Right. And it was crazy. But some shops, I mean, I've seen it where they put like one issue out and they got like a stack of 20. And I'm like, really? Dudes, I got nothing to do with you anymore.
Yeah.
And so I've heard it happen around here. Not going to name any names, but I've heard it happen around here. We won't do that. You can always get it here as long as we've got it. Happened with Batman Damned. You know, that was a real good example. Yes, that is why it's important to have a pull list as well, or a sub list, whichever one you want to call it. It's important to do that so you don't miss the issue.
Yeah.
But when Batman Damned came out, of course, we ordered pretty heavy on that. And the first issue, you know, where
Batpole.
Yeah, the Batawang. And we had it, and we had it on the shelf. We limited it to one copy per person, but we had, how many did we order on extra on that, Kim? Like 36 or 40?
Yeah.
So we had them on the shelf, and we limited it to one per person, and we still sold them out in like 3 days. And so it didn't matter.
Everybody chance.
Yeah, we wanted everybody to have the chance to be able to read the issue. And if somebody came in and said, well, I need one for my friend too, it was like, nope, it was,
Have your friend come in.
there you go. And of course we had,
Or come in with a mustache.
Yeah,
If
if you come in with a mustache, I'll sell you an extra one. But no, we had pretty even amounts of A and B cover on that. And if somebody wanted one of each cover, I understood that. And so we would let that go. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
That was the way that it works. That's what I think.
I mean, it keeps it fair that way. You don't have people just coming in and buying all your stock to try to resell it on Mercari or eBay or anywhere else.
Well, I'm in this business because I want people to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what we're here for. So you guys can have fun and have a good time and check out the really cool stuff. And I like telling people about cool stuff and showing them cool stuff. And if I don't have the cool stuff, I can't do that.
Exactly.
So, so we try and make it where we
got to keep it cool. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
the motto. Keep it cool.
That's it. Yeah.
If you ever see anyone like pulling comics from their shelf to resell, you got to keep it cool, guys. Just walk away.
Yeah, and ask them what they're doing. Because if they're doing it the other way, just tell them, not cool.
Yeah, not cool, bro. You got to keep it cool.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I think.
No, I mean, it's fair. It's completely fair that way.
Well, and it's one of the reasons here we do the things we do. You know, we do everything we do here because that's the way we would like to be treated as a customer somewhere else. If you have a pull service with us or subscription service with us, we give you 10% off. No secret. I'll tell anybody. Don't care. 10% off. That's just a nice thank you for doing business with me. We also give free bags and boards. All of our comics come bagged and boarded.
It's true.
Other shops, they go, oh, I need to make that quarter. You're giving away extra profit.
Oh, I stopped in somewhere and it was 55 cents. I could not believe it. 55 cents.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, no, why?
Because they want to say that that's their profit.
Yeah.
You know what? As a customer, if you give me 10% and a bag and board because you know that I want to keep that comic nice, thank you for thinking of me so that your comics are nice when I pull them off the rack and I didn't have some kid with chocolate fingers going through all the corners and then I got to find one. And, or you're someplace where it's really humid and it bends over and then you got to, I mean,
those corners too. I always get bummed out when I pick up a book and you see that corner just rounded. I'm just gonna set this back down. Yeah.
So we always try to do what we can, and
I guess I'm a right angle man. I just realized that.
Yeah, you are. Hey, we might do a future show on conditioning and grading and all that kind of stuff. What do you guys think about that? We've done some theme shows in the past when we did the podcast. Maybe we should do something like that. Let us know what you think.
It could be like a how-to instructional video.
Yeah. We do a class here, and I call it a class. It's free because we do a lot of free stuff here. We believe that you should have a cool place to go and hang out and do stuff. And like we have our resident mini painter. Mm-hmm. He's our pro mini painter, and he paints minis. So once a month on the third Saturday of every month, he comes in and he'll teach you how to paint a mini for free. We ask that you either bring a mini that you bought here or buy one when you come, but we even supply the paints.
Yeah.
So it's not always about trying to nickel and dime somebody. I know other stores that charge people $25-$30 for them to go, you dip your brush and you put it on and here's the wash and, stuff they learned off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's not what we do. We're here for the people. So, same thing with comics. We want it to be that way. So we do a class that's everything you wanted to know about comics, or Comics 101. And it teaches a lot of things that people don't even know. Like, what does that barcode mean? And what can you learn from that? All the way through to what are certain elements of it called? Why is the dialogue box here? What is this narrator box doing there? What is, all this and pacing and all that kind of stuff. And so maybe we could do something like that on the show and help you guys out. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
So, right on.
I could learn something for once.
Me too. I'll get somebody to come teach it. That'll be awesome. Any thoughts on, hold on, got to read. Any thoughts on the comic guest list for Dallas Fan Expo in May? Yes, I've got thoughts on that. Here's my thoughts on May. The first Saturday in May is May the 4th. That's also Star Wars Day for those of you who like that kind of stuff, which is all of us if we're here. May the 4th is also Free Comic Book Day. That's a Saturday. As you guys know, here at Geek Out, we do Free Comic Book Day weekend. So we will be going all weekend long. Fan Expo last year, when they were putting their thing together, decided they were going to put their conference or whatever, what do you call it, convention on that same weekend. So they are putting it on that same weekend. There's a lot of guests there on Saturday and Sunday. And my thoughts on that are it's a great guest list. I don't care what they got on Saturday. If I didn't have a shop, I would still say the same thing. Go to your local comic shop on Free Comic Book Day. We're getting in about, how many did we order this year? 6,000, 7,000? Wow. 6,000 or 7,000 free comics just for you at our shop. And so that's all the shops are doing this. And of course, we pay for that, to come out. It's free for you, but as a shop, we buy them. And so go to your local shop on Saturday, at least early,
Yeah.
Free Comic Book Day, support your local shop, go pick up free comics, enjoy, because that's the only way you're going to get the free comics. And then if you want to go to Fan Expo in Dallas on Sunday, most of their guests are still going to be there, then go for it, because that's a good way to go see them. I would love to. I'm going to be here. We have Free Comic Book Day. We have a lot of guest artists coming here that you won't see over there. We're full on that. We have some cosplay guests, professional cosplayers. We have artists, writers.
I need to get my cosplay together. I decided I was going to cosplay, but I don't know what.
What are you going to cosplay?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I have some things laying around.
I will come up with something for you.
E-Honda.
That works. Free events draw people in, especially if they're marketed right and frequently, Sarah says. Hey, Sarah. Good seeing you.
Hey, Sarah.
So, yes, they do. So my thoughts on that really for the lineup is they have a really good guest lineup. But go on Sunday. Spend Saturday at your local comic shop. Obviously, it's Star Wars Day. We're going to have a lot of Star Wars tie-ins as well. So come on over and have fun. We had about 4,000 people last year. How many people we have, Kim?
At least.
Is that what we counted all the way through the door? We had like 4,000 people all day through the door. But it never seems packed. We can be packed, but there's still, because our shop, in case you've never been here, it's biggest.
Huge. Huge.
It's the biggest one on the Fort West side of the Metroplex. And we have plenty of room to accommodate you, and we'll have all the fun stuff. So
I'm not going to miss it.
I know. Everybody's here. So there you go. That's about our hour. It says we're at the hour length, and that's kind of where we want to hold it. We really don't want to be any longer than that. I got one more thing here. It says, go Friday or Sunday. Saturday is a cluster at that show. I totally agree with that, too. In general, it is.
The one time I went, it was years ago. I went Saturday, and it was horrible. I was lucky enough I got to meet Stan Lee there.
That's awesome.
They timed, so they had an early time. I went at the early time, but I didn't know they canceled the early time.
Oh.
So I was like third in line, and then they canceled the time, but it was like an hour and 45 minutes till the next one. So I was like, well, it's the same place, so why not just wait? So I was lucky enough to be there early on,
right?
Get it out of the way, and then get to enjoy everything else. But yeah, that hallway was horrible. Like all the lines in it, yeah, it was bad. It wasn't fun at all.
I agree. Friday or Sunday is the way to go. Yep. We got a great guest lineup. Check our Facebook page for the lineup. We'll be updating that soon. We just confirmed 2 more guests, so I think we're up to 8 now here at the store. So we'll have comic creators and cosplay and
get your stuff signed.
That's right. Get some cool stuff at the cool place. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on the Geek Out right here on Sundays. We're going to do it every Sunday at 8:00 p.m. Central Time. We're going to try and hold it to an hour. Sometimes we'll go a little less. Sometimes, apparently, a couple minutes over. But that's what we got.
I'll be on time, I promise.
And we'll have some of the other staff members stop in every once in a while, and other guests stop in. Let us know who you would like to see. We'll see what we can get in here. We know a bunch of people, so we'll try.
George Clooney's next week, right?
George Clooney?
Nah, I don't know George Clooney.
No?
I thought you did.
I don't know George.
No, never mind. That's my fault.
I know that other girl.
That one?
Yeah, the one that not George Clooney, but that girl.
That one?
Yeah, the one that he was in that movie with.
That one time? The girl that go in that movie?
Yeah, in the movie.
That one movie?
So anyway, check with us next week. We're going to do it right here. This is the Geek Out. We are Sunday night. And what does this say down here? Says great live. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Hey, brother, what's going on? Yeah, we will be at Free Comic Book Day. Sarah wants to remind everybody, all of the Geek Out family will be here Free Comic Book Day. And we will be slinging lots of free comics. So check us out next Sunday right here as we do this again on camera. And check us out Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central for our live sale. And anything else we need to say?
I think that's about it.
I always close out the live sale with a namaste. So I'm going to namaste and go and hit that button.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We will see you next week. Have a great one.
Bye, guys.
There's that delay right there. If I can get it.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm trying to
shouldn't be doing the robot.
Do the robot. I'm trying to end the stream. It won't end. It's the never-ending stream.
This is the stream
That's the
that.
outtake.